Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the volume in geometry, a volume of a right prism. Okay, prism basically, when we talk about a right prism, we're primarily talking about some sort of box. Okay, whether that be like a box that you get something shipped in, you go to the store and you buy something. Okay, so when we talk about that, there's a formula that goes with that. The formula being the volume is equal to length times width times height. Now, as you can see from the formula, both functions that are in there are multiplication. And we know that multiplication is commutative. So, which commutative meaning you can swap the numbers back and forth. 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. So that gives us the opportunity to not necessarily have to determine which is the length, which is the width, and which is the height, especially when you're given all three numbers. Okay, so what we can do is we look at these different boxes that I've drawn up here on the board. Is basically one of them will be the length, one of them will be the width, and one will be the height, and I just join them all three together through multiplication. So in our first example here, I have a rectangular box, okay, 4 by 3 by 5. So we have the volume equals length times width times height. Okay, so the length we're going to go with the 4. The width, we're going to go with the 3, and the height, we're going to go with the 5, okay? So that just puts the numbers in each of them. All right, so 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 gives me 60, so the volume is equal to 60 units squared. Cubed, I apologize, cubed. They're units cubed because we're dealing with a three-dimensional figure. If we're dealing in the area of a two-dimensional figure, our units would be units squared. But since we're dealing with the volume, we're dealing in all three dimensions. We're dealing with length, width, and height. Okay, so that means our units are going to be cubed. So we have 60 units cubed. So let's look at our second one here. All right, again, our volume equals length times width times height. And I strongly recommend that every time you do one of these types of problems, you write the formula down so you make sure you set it up correctly. So our volume is going to equal, we'll call our length 12. I'll just change the numbers up here a little bit just to show you it still works. 12 times 4, the width, times 2, which is the height. So that gives me that opportunity. 12 times 4 is 48, and 48 times 2 gives me 96. So the volume is equal to 96 units cubed. Okay, again, three-dimensional units. So we look at this one. This looks like a large, tall tower. Our volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. Our length and width, okay, 2 and 2. So volume equals 2 times the height, which happens to be 10. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 10 gives me 40. So the volume equals 40 units cubed. Okay? Hopefully this is making sense to you. Now we've got this one. This one kind of looks a little bit like a cereal box. 8 inches wide or 8 units wide, 9 units tall, and only 2 inches deep. It's kind of like a cereal box with that. But process is still the same. Volume equals length times width times height. Length being, let's go 2 times the width, which is 8, times the height, which is 9. That gives me my volume. So my volume equals 2 times 8, which is 16. And 16 times 9 is going to give me 144 units cubed. And again, three-dimensional units. So when you're dealing with a right prism or a box or a cube of some sort that you're trying to find the volume of, this especially works in our tiling project. What you're looking for is the length, the width, and the height, and multiply those three numbers together. Remember that your units are three-dimensional, so the units are cubed. Thank you.